Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach exchange heated words. And we have solid information on the undercard for the fight that they have coming up December 14th in Houston, Texas. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and we have a fight, thank goodness. Some people out there not wanting to see boxing matches because they say, hey, man, the fight with Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, I would rather see him fight somebody else. Well, we're not going to get that. We're going to get a fight with Lamont Roach. So what is that going to look like? And what is the undercard going to be? And we get an update on that. And we also get an idea of the relationship between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And shout out to Matty O, man. I haven't seen you in a while, man, but you're on my mind. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Barbara D. Shout out to everybody in the crew. Please come by the live streams and check us out. And I think that you'll really, really enjoy it. So let's get into this. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach exchanged some emails or some text messages. Sorry, I'm old. Still think about email all the time. They exchanged tweets in which someone had responded to Gervonta Davis and asked Gervonta if he needed a sparring partner and said, hey, how do I get to your sparring camp? How do I get to your camp to spar with you? All I need is $2,600. I think it's maybe $2,600 a sparring match. I don't know, $2,600 a week. I don't know what it was. But, he said, I'll be a sparring partner for $2,600. Lamont Roach responds to the person that says that with, yeah, Gervonta is going to need that. He's going to need your help sparring. And then Gervonta and Lamont get into it. Gervonta says, what you mean by that? Lamont does something where he puts like fingernail polish. It's like an emoji of fingernail polish. I don't get, man, these kids, man, they be doing some funny things, man. I have no idea why. And Gervonta did the same thing. It's literally somebody sitting there, I guess maybe you're saying you're relaxing and you're getting your nails done, like you're not stressed or something. Whatever it is, one of y'all young folk that don't got any gray in their beard, please tell me what y'all mean when y'all use them daggone fingernail polish emojis. But whatever the case is, they go back and forth, and Lamont and Gervonta says, hey, man, you better be careful, Lamont, because, it can get you in real trouble, but you already know that. Then Lamont says something back to him. And, now we got the conversation going on. Without a doubt, this fight is official, and it should be a good match. I think Lamont Roach is a solid fighter. He is definitely an underrated fighter in the mind, as far as I'm concerned. When I look at how people discuss him as being somebody that is not worthy to be in the ring with Gervonta Davis, I don't believe that's the case, man. As a matter of fact, Lamont Roach's former opponent, Jamel Herring, said pretty much the same thing. Jamel was like, why are people acting like this is some cherry pick? Number one, the guy, Gervonta Davis is 5'5", Lamont Roach is 5'7". Lamont Roach has fought at 135 more times than Gervonta Davis has fought at 140. In fact, man, I think the fact of the matter is that Lamont Roach might have fought at 135 more times than Gervonta Davis has fought at 135 if you look at his record. I think Gervonta Davis has probably been in 135 for something like 8 fights. Is that right? 8? Since 2019. Yeah, about 8 fights he's had at 135. Lamont Roach has had at least that many fights at 135. He actually, his first fight of his career was at 140. So Jamel Herring is like, look, man, and when the fight actually takes place, Lamont Roach is going to be bigger than Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is smaller than Shakur Stevenson. Gervonta Davis is smaller than Oscar Valdez. Gervonta Davis is smaller than Lamont Roach. He's also smaller than Hector Garcia. Gervonta Davis really is probably a little bit small. He's also smaller than Chris Colbert. So all of this talk about what this dude is doing by pulling people up in weight and all of that, I mean, it's on its face, it's ridiculous. But the fighters that are talking about it also are saying, man, that's ridiculous. This dude Lamont Roach can fight. However, that's not the end of it, because now we get, I think we have a very solid fight card. Because on the undercard for the fight has been announced, and this is by Shava from ESPN. I probably should say his name and not do him dirty, but he is one of the best. He's out of for ESPN, and he is from ESPN. It's Shava. Shava, CAVAESPN at Shava ESPN. My understanding, shout out to Phenomenal Shows, that he's one of the best guys and almost never misses on what he's saying. He's saying Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is also going to be with Alberto Puello and Sandor Martin. Now, that whole storyline with Sandor Martin is interesting, because if you didn't know, Sandor Martin and Alberto Puello are going to be fighting for the WBC championship. That is a belt that was held by Devin Haney until Devin Haney relinquished it and went to champion in recess. So Puello is now going to be fighting and getting rid of that mandatory for Devin Haney, which means that if Devin Haney wants to come back, he's probably going to enter the WBC. He's going to have to fight Puello. And let me tell you, because Puello is going to beat Sandor Martin. I have a hard time believing Sandor Martin is going to get out of there with Puello. He may, but I don't see it. Sandor Martin, I do think, is an underrated fighter. But at the same time, I also think most of these guys at 140 are slightly overrated. But that is a very, very solid undercard fight. Puello versus Sandor Martin for a championship. I'm going to be very interested in seeing who else is on that card. Now, as you know, with Sandor Martin and Alberto Puello, that the winner of that fight is going to have to fight Gary Antoine Russell, the fight after that. So I'm excited about that, because it brings Gary Antoine Russell into a championship shot really fast. I hope that Gary Antoine Russell's on this card. It's really going to be interesting to see how they fill this out, because most of the PBC cards have been real deep over the last year or so. It's been a lot fewer situations where it's just one guy on the card and there's nobody in the undercards. So if we can get something that is along these lines, that'll be great. Now, please notice that it was not said that Jermell Charlo and Jamal Charlo are going to be on this card in Houston with Gervonta. Okay, that would be wonderful if that was the case, but it was not in this particular release, and I don't think that's really going to transpire. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. I'm really looking for this fight. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.